The podcast show in London kicks off. From London, the latest from our daily newsletter at podnews.net. The podcast show has started in Islington in London. Event organisers tell Podnews they're expecting 2,400 visitors today and again tomorrow. The show has had high-profile advertising on national radio. The first podcast conference in the city was PodcastCon in September 2005. I have a good reason to remember that. You'll find a link to that in our show notes and our newsletter at podnews.net. At the podcast show, Norwegian startup Nemono announced the release of its Nemono sound capsule, a Wi-Fi-enabled recorder with a spatial microphone array and a cloud-based recording tool. Also at the podcast show, Sony Music Entertainment announced that Kermode and Mayo's Take have become the most popular Apple podcast subscription in the UK. And the company has just announced The Binge, a new podcast subscription channel with full seasons of shows to launch June the 6th. One of the biggest podcasts in the world, WTF with Mark Maron, has signed with Acast. The 13-year-old show claims 55 million listens per year, primarily in North America, and is the 25th most popular show in the US, according to Edison Podcast Metrics. It'll also use Acast Plus, the company's paid subscriptions product. It was with SXM Media and hosted by Omni Studio. Spotify is to bring back political advertising on the platform. It was suspended in early 2020. In the 2019 to 2020 election cycle, total political advertising spending reached $8.5 billion across TV, radio and digital media. The company recently drew ire from podcasters for unapologetically adding ads for alcohol on podcast pages after a technical error, costing them a major advertiser. The Rodecaster Pro 2 has been launched. It goes on sale in 20 days. The mixer includes a number of improvements to the original podcast mixer. Social podcasting app Reason has changed its name to Podvine and completed a $187,000 fundraising effort. It has 243 podcasts on its platform currently, generating 500,000 downloads a month. Buzzsprout has launched Buzzsprout Ads in beta. The system automatically finds the right place for a mid-roll ad and pays 1.4 cents per download. You can check eligibility in your dashboard. The official launch is next week. And got a good crime story? CBC Podcast is looking for unique and compelling cases for the next season of Uncover, their true crime podcast. And in podcast news, Fresh Air with Terry Gross has won the Peabody Institutional Award. She was presented the award by Stephen Colbert. The show started in 1975 and is one of NPR's highest performing podcasts. And Drive is a Spotify original launched recently featuring Ford CEO Jim Farley. It's not actually a Ford podcast, just a set of interviews about what drives people. From Magnificent Noise, the Los Angeles Times has listened and likes it. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.